we will be listing our favorite WrestleMania matches of all time. We're going to be doing 5 each. Now, before we get into my list and stuff like that, honestly, I could have had all of Shawn Michaels' matches in this, because like looking back and just thinking about some of Shawn's matches, he can make an entire list out of his. So I've limited myself to like a few people. I don't have like a few matches for certain people, but yeah, you want to go first? You want me to go first?
Sure. Yeah, I'll go first. Because my first one is a pretty recent one. That's gonna be WrestleMania 38. Cody returns and goes against Seth Rollins. Obviously, it's kind of carried by the fact of Cody returning more so than the match. Not that the match was bad, obviously. But yeah, it was just a really good match. It was just literally a battle. It took 3 crossroads and a bionic elbow to finally take him out and finish Seth Rollins. Then obviously that led to the whole storyline we have now. So just looking at it from like that perspective, now that we're 2 years into it, it's like wow, we started here when he came back, and now he's like main eventing against The Rock and Roman on 2 nights of WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So pretty cool.
Yeah. For my first one, I'm going Money in the Bank from WrestleMania 25. Now this one, obviously Money in the Bank matches are very spotty, especially the ones at Mania. And this one was no different really. However, the entire match was just great. From Shelton Benjamin's big spot diving off the ladder, from Kofi's great spot where he falls off the ladder and Mark Henry catches him, body slams him on the ladder, and also CM Punk going back to back this year as well. So yeah, really good match there. But yeah.
Yeah, I had the same one at my number 4 spot, so pretty much everything he just said, you could just go with my number 4 spot. Obviously, I was already a fan of Punk at this point, but obviously this would kind of take it to a new level. He would eventually cash in, win the title, and go on to be where he's at today as one of the biggest superstars ever. And I mean, as much as you hate him or love him, he's an iconic WWE superstar.
For my number 4, I have Edge and Christian versus the Hardys versus the Dudleys at WrestleMania 17, aka TLC 2. I mean, this is just one of the most iconic matches and really put tag team wrestling on the, I'm not going to say on the map, but it just propelled it to so much more, I feel like. And without these matches, the TLC matches with these 3 teams, I don't think tag team wrestling would be maybe as popular as it is today. Maybe it could be, maybe not. But yeah, just fantastic work between everybody. The big spots with Edge and Jeff Hardy, the Dudley or Bubba and Matt going through the table, and then you have the interferences from each team with Lita, the Hardys, Rhino, Edge and Christian, and Spike. So yeah, really enjoy this match, and yeah.
And then for me, this is kind of one that most people probably overlook, but I love the feud, and I mean I loved them at the time, maybe not so much right now. But Chris Jericho versus Triple H for the WWE Championship. This is the whole storyline where Steph is with Chris Jericho, and then Steph tries to distract the ref and distract Triple H and all that. Chris Jericho hits her with the chair, kind of costs Chris Jericho the match. And yeah, that's how Triple H will end up winning it. But this feud, just in general, which is one of my favorites of all time, basically. Not a huge fan of Chris Jericho anymore. But this was peak Chris Jericho. This was, the Chris Jericho everybody wanted to see. Still excited about him just even being in WWE at this time. And yeah, it was just a great feud in general. Just one of the best, and I feel like people kind of overlook it a little bit.
Yeah. For my number 3, I have a pretty recent match, and that's Bianca Belair versus Sasha Banks, main eventing night 1 of WrestleMania 37. This match not only is a great match, it also is a very revolutionary match, I think is the right word for this. Not only is it 2 women main eventing, it's 2 black women as well, something we've never seen before. And yeah, they put on an absolute clinic in the match, and a lot of great spots with Bianca using her hair braid as a weapon at times, Sasha playing a heel, and yeah, just an absolute great match between the 2, and put on a phenomenal show, and such a cool moment, especially with Bianca winning in the end, and you can see the pure happiness and joy of all her hard work coming from NXT, building up, main eventing at WrestleMania pretty early on in her career as well, and yeah, getting the job done.
Yeah, Definitely a great moment for sure. And then for my number 2, I have Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 26. This is the career versus streak match, and the main thing for this match is really just kind of the sequence towards the end where Undertaker goes for a last ride through the table. He counters out of it, hits him with the sweet chin music, then he falls through the table, and then honestly one of my favorite moonsaults of all time. He hits the moonsault on him through the table, and I was just like, wow. Even obviously he's Shawn Michaels, so you kind of expect him to have great matches, but him at that age and Undertaker, also getting up there in age, and it was just a crazy match. The ending was great, the story was great, and yeah, I mean his streak goes to 18-0 after that, and he goes on for seven. They goes on for many more years, winning, keeping his streak alive. And Shawn Michaels obviously retires. Well, kind of, yeah. But yeah, really good match. One of my favorites of all time. Only reason why this isn't number 1 is because my last one is gonna be like a nostalgia as a kid type of pick.
No. For my number 2, we're going to WrestleMania 20, and we have Kurt Angle versus Eddie Guerrero. Two absolute beasts in the ring. Kurt Angle, one of the best technical wrestlers. Eddie, one of the best luchadors, and also a phenomenal technical wrestler. And they have always had great chemistry in the ring, but at this Mania, they absolutely killed it together. Not only is the finish just so unique and so cool, it's such an Eddie thing to have to untie your shoe a little bit, so when he goes for that ankle lock, you can slip out of it and you get the win. Just an absolute phenomenal match. I almost put the triple threat from WrestleMania 20 with Benoit, Triple H, and Shawn in this, but I don't have too many Shawn Michaels matches, so that would have made it on here. But yeah, absolutely great match between Kurt and Eddie.
Alright, and then for my number 1 WrestleMania match, like I said, this is, as a kid, seeing that this is kind of what got me into wrestling. This is peak Attitude Era, and I'm talking about WrestleMania 15, Stone Cold vs. Rock. It's a no DQ match, but Corporation is banned. But rules don't matter. It's WWE. But McMahon still comes out at some point. The first ref, he gets a rock bottom. The second ref gets jumped by McMahon and basically the Corporation. And then Mankind comes out with the referee suit on, and he finishes the match as the special guest referee, kicks McMahon and all of them out, and Stone Cold defeats The Rock, becomes the champion, and McMahon's nightmares came true, so to say, that day.
Yeah. That would have been 97, right? Or if you know the year?
I wouldn't.
It'd probably be like 97 if I had to guess, and then that's kind of like the starting point of Austin as the top guy, because that's kind of like the passing of the torch for that little bit of time where Rock takes a kind of a backseat for a little bit, obviously still in the main title picture every time, but Austin was the new face of the company, and then those next few years from 97 to 99 were just absolutely amazing for WWF at the time. So similar to what you picked for your number 1, I have similar reasons for why I'm picking this match. It was my first Mania that I can recall watching, and it was my first ever favorite match, and I had Shawn Michaels versus Undertaker at WrestleMania 25. Just a great story, and yeah, just absolutely phenomenal. I would have picked 26 because not only is that match good, but it has the story of 25 in there. But for me, this is my original favorite match of all time, and it really is my favorite match of all time. Maybe not the highest star rating match, but just for what it is, absolutely phenomenal story with two legends in the company finally facing each other at a Mania, and then absolutely great match. And
pretty much for all my lists, it's all story matches, not so much blow for blow wrestling like AEW style, stuff like that. You have Undertaker versus Shawn, obviously, still a all-time great match, amazing. But it's definitely matches that are quote unquote better. As a match period, and obviously there's probably been better Money in the Bank matches, but this one meant more because it was CM Punk, one of my favorites. He went back to back. It was still at Mania during this time. This wasn't when they had its own pay-per-view, so it was a little bit more special being at Mania, in my opinion. Triple H versus Chris Jericho, once again, just another long built story. Basically feuded with him for years to get to the point. You know what I mean? Then Stone Cold versus Rock, just amazing. And then as recent as Cody versus Seth, once again, amazing. Just the return. What Cody's done since then, what even Seth has done since then. Because not only is Cody going against The Rock at Mania, but so is Seth at the end of the day.
Yeah.
A lot of people are talking bad about Seth, like, oh, he looks kind of weak right now as a champion. But when it comes to Mania, then whether he wins or loses versus The Rock, he's going to come out, bigger than what he was before. So, yeah.
Yeah, let us know your guys' favorite matches from WrestleMania. That was ours. Let us know if you agree, where if any of our matches rank in yours. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you made it this far, make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you guys in the next video.